Johnston-Ulrich on imperfect practices.
It's going good. Yeah, I'll just move it. All right. Thank you. Boy, the steps are higher in heels. How is everyone this morning?
Great.
What do we teach here? Come on, guys. That was a little sad. Okay, one more time. How's everybody this morning? Great. How's everybody online? Can you hear me for once? Yeah, we've been having it's just fun times. Actually, I love you. I forgive you. Thank you. Raise that. So, I have a neighbor, Mr. Vincelli, and he has beautiful tomatoes. Am I too loud? No? Okay. He has beautiful tomatoes. I mean, they're gorgeous ones. You know, and just slice and they're warm, and he has some bocconcino cheese and a nice pesto over top. Can't you taste that? Well, anyway.
Fresh basil.
Yeah. Mr. Vincelli is a little older. So he couldn't turn over his garden. For some reason, he didn't ask any of his neighbors. His son always helped him prepare the bed every year. And unfortunately, his son was incarcerated, was in prison, and couldn't help Mr. Vincelli. He wrote a letter lamenting this to his son, saying, I'm so sad you couldn't be here. I'm not going to have any tomatoes. I can't turn over my garden. And his son called him, and Mr. Vincelli had put a PS. If I get some energy, I'm going to try to do a little bit. And his son called him that day and said, Dad, don't turn over the garden bed. That's where the bodies are buried. So, later on that day, police show up. Dig up all of his garden beds. Didn't find anything. Apologized to Mr. Vincelli and left. And the father calls his son. They had their talk. And the son said, I'm sorry I couldn't be there, Dad, but this is the best I could do under the circumstances. So, practicing imperfection. Wow, what's that mean? Especially at a place that tells all of you all the time you're perfect, whole, and complete. Right? You are. In the center, at your core, you are perfect, whole, and complete. There is absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing, any one of you has to do to be spiritually perfect, to be divine. You came into this manifestation that way. No one can take it away from you, no matter what your personality does, no matter if you end up in prison. Whatever it is, nothing can change that about you. You're perfect. So why am I doing a talk about practicing imperfection? It's because we're uncovering, right? That perfection's there. But how many of you are willing to stand up and say, yeah, that's me, April. I'm absolutely perfect. There is nothing I need to change. I love every bit of this. I love the new hairdo. I love the heels. Right? I love the pants I chose to wear today. Right? Nobody's doing this. And why? Because we see that as a goal. We see perfection continually as a goal. And hasn't it got worse since we got social media? I mean, we might have felt the pressure when we were younger in school to get the top mark or to do something that was perfect, keep our room clean. I used to read, do you remember those health books? I'm dating myself, but they used to have like health books in like grade 3 where they showed the person lying in bed, like crisp sheet across them, the hand like this one across the chest, the window open, lying there with perfectly brushed teeth. I tried that for 3 days. Then it was like, nope, that wasn't happening. The bed was all and I also slept with 2 sisters, so there wasn't a lot of room for them to let me hold my perfect posture. But we do this, right? We have these ideas of perfection. And what is perfection? It's a construct made by somebody we don't even know, right? Ooh, to have the perfect body, we need to be this weight, and this body mass, and this height, right? So we go crazy. 10 ways to decrease the thighs. 14 ways to make calf muscles bigger, right? We spend a ridiculous amount of time. I'm just going to get somebody to lower the number 11 because I can just kind of hear it. So, imperfect with the sound system. I've got to have that just in the right range. So we're obsessed with this. And yet, there's no joy in it. There's absolutely no joy in it. We do the perfect fold of our shirts, and we have all our shirts lined up in our drawers, and we spend hours doing that Kanamari, whatever, that system. It's lovely. I think it looks beautiful, but I want to go back to those houses 5 months after she's gone through it with them and organized the whole thing, right? So what I love is there's a writer named Arthur C. Brooks, and he writes for the Atlantic Journal, and he also has done a book recently with Oprah Winfrey. And this was one thing I wrote down, and I did bring it up. Just because it's kind of a long title, and that's a contract for somebody. Here we go. Where are you, Arthur C. Brooks? Bear with me. I know it was one of the things I stuck in. Well, maybe I don't know it. So it was about, I know it was the art and science of happiness. And he is a professor on happiness. I think I've mentioned him before. And what I love about this is he said happiness is never attaining the goal. So if you want to lose 20 pounds, happiness does not come truly from when you've lost the 20 pounds. It's not like, now I'm happy. I'm happy ever after. Now I've lost the 20 pounds. Nothing more in my life. I've attained that level of happiness. I pity you all that have 5 pounds to lose. Right? He said that's not it. What it actually is having the goal. It's going through the process. It's watching those pounds come off. That's where the happiness is. It's not attaining perfection. It's enjoying the ride. It's enjoying getting there, having some mistakes. Possibly a day where you hit the plateau, right? And then you start to lose again. It's happening, right? It's like your garden. You plant some flowers. First time around, it's like, they look terrible. There's like a little clump here and a little clump there. And you move things around and you try things. And then one day you walk out and you're in heaven. You've created heaven. But you have to go through those mistakes. You have to be willing to try to be imperfect, to embrace imperfection. I see we have a wonderful thing here when the band plays. We have these wonderful souls that get up and dance. And here comes one of the dancers now. Was it at the door? No? Oh, I thought it was our door. No, it's okay. Elizabeth's laughing, so she just gave me a great segue. So anyway, they get up and they dance when the band's playing. And I see the people that aren't dancing. And they're looking over. And their shoulders are going, or maybe their toes tap. Or they're doing, the dance under the chairs. And they want to get up. I know they want to get up. But they don't want to practice being imperfect. They don't want to get up and make a bad move. Do they overbite? They don't want to be caught doing that. Why? That's an experience. We only get to experience the true joy of being in spirit when we risk things, when we risk taking chances and stepping out of our norm, right? Our norm's boring. Everybody's doing the norm. So I talked the last time about color, how embrace color, embrace your colors, whatever they may be, but take a chance. Step out of that normal thing. If you always go on a holiday to the same place, the same fishing hole, try something out of the norm. If you always go for a drive in the country and you just go from point A to point B and you never stop at any of the little towns and try their restaurants instead of the Boston pizzas now that are every, I shouldn't say that because my cousin owns one in Burton, but Boston pizzas are great. But if you want to be outside of your norm, then stop at a little restaurant in Oak Lake or somewhere else on the way out. Because those are where the gems are found. Those are where I had sour cream pie. Do you know how good sour cream pie is? That's on no one's menu in the city. And it's really, really good. We get to experience new things when we take those chances and we step outside our comfort zone. And we try something new. And what do we learn from that? Whether I like that food or not, you had an experience. You have a story for when you get back. If you go and do the same thing and you get back, where's the story? All the stories in my family always go around imperfection. And they're our most joyful stories because they're the times that you just can't help but laugh because you understand the person behind it. You know they're perfect. You love them to death. But these are the things we all sit around and giggle about, right? I mean, we've all done things. So when we went to create our wall mural here for the 30th, I had everybody show up. I was thrilled with who showed up because it wasn't just the crafters. It was people willing to learn how to make these flowers. And they look simple, but there's a lot to them. And I had members say, oh, I'm the worst cutter in the world. I just can't believe I'm here cutting. But they stuck with it. And it was sort of like, how does this work? And, oh, mine doesn't look like that. They're all beautiful. They're all beautiful. So if one person had said to me, no, because I can't do it perfectly, I'm sorry, April, I can't cut. Can't do it, can't participate, that wouldn't be up there. Because I needed everyone. I needed everyone to put aside their worry and concern, and we had fun. We laughed. I mean, Dawn back there was one of my, and Judy were two of my most strident supporters in this, and came and helped me put it together and get it up on that wall. And I mean, Dawn and I have known each other for decades, and we were killing ourselves laughing. Who would ever thought that these two kids as teenagers who went country cruising with a bunch of people would one day be assembling a flower wall in a Center for Spiritual Living? It didn't cross our minds. But we wouldn't have had those conversations and those times together and those laughs if Dawn wasn't willing to take a chance on doing something outside his comfort zone. And Judy and all the rest that participated. So that is perfect imperfection. And we all have an experience and we have something to share. How wonderful is that? So when have you practiced imperfection? When have you stepped out of your comfort zone to try something new? A new food, start something small, new outfit. The next time you say, oh, I like that, as if it's an outfit that I couldn't wear it. That's just, it's just too out there. Buy it. Buy it, wear it here, if nowhere else people will support you. But buy it. Have the experience of that on your body and out there being all that. It changes who you are when you take those chances. I love being here for the practice session for the band because they try things, they work out things, and then they don't do any of it up here. They just flow, right? But they don't let their I hear all their things that they think are little mistakes, or all the things where they don't think they've got the harmony down. All those things, and they get up here, it's perfection. It's perfection because they practice the imperfection and they don't let the mistakes stop them from getting up there. So where are the idea of making mistakes stopping you from getting up here? Or getting to wherever you want to go. Taking a trip. Planting a garden. Painting a picture. Writing a book. Whatever it is. What is it? What are you scared to show? What are you scared to be? The last thing I want to kind of talk about is authenticity. When we dare to practice imperfection, we're being ourselves. We're saying, hey, this is who I am. You know, I'm not the woman with the perfectly swept floors and every pillow in the right place, and I just happen to have fresh bread made for you when you pop over. Right? This is not who we are. That's why we ask people to tell us when they're coming. Right? So what if we were imperfect? What if people knew they could knock on our door anytime they wanted, and we were joyous to see them? And we didn't apologize for our house, and we didn't apologize for having nothing freshly baked to serve them. Wouldn't it be wonderful? Wouldn't it be great to know that you were the type of person that could just go with the flow? So I've been trying that, even with this talk for the last, I'd say 6 months. I've been trying to flow without using any outline, without using any intention when I get up here, and just seeing what comes through. And I must say I enjoy it way more. Not the first 2 minutes I get up here, but the rest, and I sit down and I don't have a clue what I said. And I don't dare watch them back because I'm like, oh, what if I... But now I do, because you know what? The mistakes are sometimes the best parts. When I get off track, it ends up being exactly what I was supposed to be talking about, what I was supposed to be sharing. And I'm me. So none of you don't know who I am, unless you're brand new, and then you're getting a pretty good idea right about now. But most of you, right, could say you knew me. You know what I like. You know who I cheer for. You know my vulnerabilities. I've shared my scary times. I've shared my failures. And you know what's wonderful about that? Is I've got no need for that facade anymore. I have no need to be anything other than me. And that is so freeing, right? The hair might have been a mistake today, but it's freeing, right? We try new things, and we move forward in new ways. And that's what we're here for, because every time I face a vulnerability, I face a mistake, I try, I'm peeling away the imperfection, and the perfection is shining through. And that's the same for everyone. And that's what practitioners do. We spend time showing you what you're thinking or judging, and we peel that away for you so you can start to see the perfection. Because when we get to perfection, stuff flows so much easier. The serendipity, the manifestations all start coming in to our experience, and we're just like, wow, I can't believe this gets any better. I'm going to go out today and make a lot more mistakes. So that's what I'm asking you to do. Please dare to be imperfect. Please dare to make mistakes. Please challenge yourself. And then just keep saying, this is who I am. Because your families and your friends haven't maybe met you yet. And don't they deserve to know what a wonderful person you are? Don't they deserve to know how you rock this world? Truly. Truly. They deserve this. And you deserve to be surrounded by other people that know that and aren't worried about looking imperfect. Because honestly, constructs were made and they were made to be destroyed. So let's destroy them together. Have a perfectly imperfect day. Thank you.